From a very young age, I've been terrified of failure. I've always wanted to succeed. I've always wanted to make something of my life, as any person has wanted to. But I looked around at my peers, and a lot of them wanted to pursue certain things. Everyone wanted to be rich, but no one had the drive to be rich. And I thought, oh, I'm special. I'm the exception. And I thought that if I did not achieve these ambitions, if I did not make something of myself, as in become a millionaire or build a successful business or whatever, that I was a failure. And by objective terms, if you set out a goal and you fail, you have kind of become a failure. And there's been many people out there who have strived for something and they ended up quitting, or they tried again and it didn't work. And I've learned to become comfortable with that, because ultimately, not everyone can be successful. Not everyone can be a millionaire. Because I remember seeing The Incredibles, and there's a quote from it that I always remember, which is, with everyone super, no one will be. And the same can be applied to success. If everyone was successful, no one would be. If everyone was millionaires, there would be no such thing as a millionaire. The world cannot work like that. We can't have every single person build a business, move to Dubai. It's just illogical. So there has to be a certain amount of people who, even though they technically never give up, are never going to become millionaires. And we can say, oh, they didn't try hard enough. We can say they didn't have enough passion for it. But whatever the reason, that's just the case. And I thought this was absolute hell for me. I thought that if I didn't achieve my dreams, if I didn't become something, if I didn't escape the matrix, that my life was a complete waste. But now my definition of success has changed, and I believe there are multiple definitions of success. Like, think about it. There's people who are on the deathbed, 18, 90 years old, who had a steady job for the rest of their life. There's people who, ranging from, investment bankers, to people who worked in construction, to people who were janitors for their entire life. And a lot of them are dying with a smile. And that might seem crazy. It's like, how can you be happy just being a janitor or doing this or doing that? But we have to understand what happens when we die. On our tombstone, it will not say the guy who tried to build a business. It won't say for the next guy, millionaire YouTuber. It won't say for the next guy, successful dropshipper. It will say loving husband, loving father, loving friend. It will say the social role that you played in society. And I don't think, based on that, anyone should sacrifice social skills and relationships over trying to build a business. Now, I think if you're chasing purpose, that's fantastic. But do not forget about the people in your life. And if you don't have people in your life, then try and make an effort to find them. Even if it's just making new friends, you've got to put the effort in. Nothing worth having comes easy. And it can be hard, especially with social media, because social media will... There's so many different perspectives on being broke. And it's weird because there doesn't seem to be a definitive one. It can range from having zero money to literally just having a stable full-time 9-to-5 job. And you're still classified as broke. You still need to escape the matrix. You still need to make something of yourself. And I think if you have this desire, if you have this dream, if you have this vision, you have this goal, you should go for it. No matter if you become successful in 5 years or if you become successful in 50 years. If this is what you believe you need, and this is what you believe will bring you fulfillment, bring you joy, and make you valuable in this world, by all means. But from what I've learned, from learning more about myself, and more importantly, learning more about God, I know that I have inherent value. I know that men do have to prove themselves. They're not loved unconditionally. But that's among humans. To the higher power, I am loved unconditionally. I can build businesses. I can make money. I can have it all. But if I'm sat in a golden bathtub with some champagne, all by myself, living alone in a mansion, no friends near me, no loved ones, then what do I really have? I'm going to read you a quote from the Bible that I wrote down a few days ago. It comes from Mark chapter 8, verse 36. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Deep as heck, man. Like, I've seen so many guys like that, who they chase money, they chase worldly things, they chase pleasure, yet they're soulless. Their eyes are vacant. There is nothing behind them. And I wish I could just reach out and restore them to what they were supposed to be, but everyone has to go down their path, and if that's the path they think they need to go down, they can do that. But I know my path. I'm comfortable with whatever happens. If this YouTube video takes off, fantastic. If it doesn't take off and it remains a hobby for the rest of my life, fantastic. I've learned to become a simple observer of the past, a speculator, a joyful speculator of the future, and a fully thriving embracer of the present moment. Because that's the only thing I can guarantee. I can only guarantee what I'm doing here, what I'm doing now. And what I do now has no effect on the past, but it can impact my future. I can use the knowledge of the past to input into the present to get the output of the future. And I'm comfortable with whatever happens, man. Like, I'm just happy, bro. Like, I can't even describe it that well, but this love is something that I've wanted all my life, and I thought I need to get it through money, I need to get it through girls. But having this kind of fulfillment, being content with life as it is, of course having goals, of course striving to do well, but que sera, whatever will be, will be. And this isn't me telling you to give up on your dreams, this isn't me to tell you to slack on your job or to give up, no. But have a little joyful optimism. Things can work out, but ultimately success is subjective. I would argue that a lonely millionaire, a soulless, lustful rake, are far less successful than a happy 75-year-old who worked as a janitor, but is surrounded by his loved ones. He has all the riches in the world and more. So I hope that's given you something to reflect on, bro. As I said, if you have your dreams, go chase them. You never know what can happen. And that's the beauty of it. We don't know what's going to happen. So we may as well just put the actions down for today and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, bro. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. God bless, and as always, you take very good care of yourself.